Hey Jay, can you hear me? Okay, and we'll just let my co-caster rejoin as and when he arrives. We are here into game 2 of Nottingham versus Birmingham. The first game, pretty respectable victory from the side of Birmingham after a pretty mediocre start past the 10-15 minute phase. Invoker very much just got absolutely out of control. The supports from the Nottingham side couldn't really achieve anything. The lone druid was left on his own, and the game very quickly over for Nottingham. And this game, they ban out 2 of the heroes that Birmingham had previously. The support Conqueror and the off-lane LD, both banned out. Birmingham sticking with the bans from the previous game, which obviously worked out fine for them, the Viper and the OD. But this time Nottingham going for something different. They'll pick up the Death Prophet. Jay, tell me what's going on.
Well, they got meme pushed last game, so it looks like they're going for a little bit of meme push themselves with this DP. Very strong hero right now with the Soul Siphon, much more durable than she used to be. Not quite as susceptible to being bursted down now. And they, you do get the feeling that with those 2 counterbans that they got beaten by last game, Nottingham might be ever so slightly on tilt. Might be focusing too hard on last game, whereas I think, in my opinion, I've just described that down to, you know, mid lane got out of control and our draft wasn't quite on point, but it does happen. I think they've just got to move past that and focus on this game.
Absolutely. So Birmingham last game happy to pick up the LD, had a player comfortable on it. This time happy to pick up the Earth Spirit. Same again. Is there anything else left in the pool that is an obvious early pick here? The Invoker, I mean, they did so well with it last game, seems like kind of a no-brainer to me if they want to pick that up. Does okay against the Death Prophet, does fine I think, especially with help from the Earth Spirit.
I mean, there's the Invoker, there's also the Vengeful Spirit that's very popular in these early phases.
That would be some good BM from Birmingham, I think. We're going to first pick Earth Spirit Venge, and we're going to show you how to play it. We're going to show you how to
if they win the game in the fashion that they did last game, I think they can pick what they like. But no, it's going to be Shadow Shaman.
It's the meme push block pick.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman is both good pushing and counter pushing.
Yeah. Wards
are always a pain to get off a tower. Also, I mean, I don't know if this is something they're actually thinking about, probably not, but Death Prophet's ghosts can't kill Shadow Shaman wards, so it's an effective anti-push in that particular matchup.
So Beastmaster, I think he was banned in the second stage last game, the second phase. I obviously wasn't in the game.
I think it was first phase actually.
Oh, really? Was it
Yeah. But it looks like they Nottingham are going for all-in full push this game. They've banned out the Clinks and the Lone Druids, so perhaps less vulnerable to split push than they might otherwise be. But they are putting a lot of eggs in this 5-man basket right now. At least it looks like it. So it'd be interesting to see what the rest of their picks look like.
Yeah, what do you think would be good for them here? Obviously the Venge still available, probably the best thing they can pick up here. What about some super cheese? What about a Drow Ranger? What about something like that?
I mean, Drow Ranger's always pretty good, but I don't think it actually has that much synergy with the kind of push that that Nottingham are actually trying to go for so far. I mean, in the way that Death Prophet and Beastmaster push is through increased attack speed on minions and the Exorcism, and Drow Ranger doesn't really help either of those very much. I mean, she can buff ranged minions, but that's only a small part of what Beastmaster offers.
Yeah. I wonder what else they can pick up here. They could potentially go for a kind of physical damage strat, I guess. Maybe pick up some minus armor from somewhere, and some more physical damage maybe from a support. Maybe even a Witch Doctor as one of their supports, I don't know. The meme push kind of not available in its full strength. Look, the Drow Ranger banned out.
They will actually ban the Drow Ranger. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I feel that it doesn't quite have the synergy that other picks might do, but it's definitely a strong ban. I feel like the Shadow Shaman, as strong as it is in the pushing and the counter pushing, might come back to bite Birmingham here, because both Beastmaster and Death Prophet are very good at doing damage whilst the hero themselves is disabled.
Yeah.
With the exorcism keeps burning away at all heroes in the vicinity, and Beastmaster, a lot of his damage comes from actually his boar and the necro units once he gets them, so both those heroes quite difficult to control safely if the game goes anywhere near even.
Yeah, and also the Earth Spirit, as strong as it is, not really that good against the Death Prophet. Death Prophet does have the silence on the Earth Spirit. If Death Prophet has some spells cast on her, can only assume that she'll have the heals to break the silence and be able to do some other stuff as well. So yeah, as good as Earth Spirit is not that good against the Death Prophet. The Queen of Pain gets picked up presumably to lane against the DP, which I think at this stage is probably a Death Prophet favoured matchup. With the strength of the Spirit Siphon, now just whenever the Queen of Pain tries to go in for a Q, she's going to get siphoned down, have to blink away, so it's just never going to be an efficient trade, I don't think, for the Queen of Pain. Unless she gets a very early
they both have similar ranges, so as long as they're fairly even in skill, they should both be just primarily CSing until level 6, with Death Prophet having a slight edge because her slightly better ability to clear out waves. But that matchup really does depend on how effectively Queen of Pain utilises her power spike at level 6, that sonic wave.
Yep. Last game, didn't really see many rotations out of mid. The Invoker happy to stay there for what felt like, I guess, the first 15 minutes of the game, but obviously he was just getting so many kills served up to him on a plate that he didn't need to. Assuming it's going to be the same player on the Queen of Pain this game, so let's see if Luke is going to be as happy or as successful roaming around the map as he was sitting in lane and waiting like he was last game. So things are going to have to be different for Birmingham.
By the way, it looks like we've had a
early game as they had before.
Looks like we've had a change of personnel for Birmingham as well. Their carry player Roger last game has been replaced by Mao, although that may be the same person, different account, but
Could be.
I'm fairly certain that's someone different. They're going to stick him on a Wraith King. Honestly, I am not a fan of this pick. Wraith King is...
I'm sceptical against the Necrobuck on Beastmaster, that's what I'm sceptical against.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking as well. And Wraith King, generally, a fairly stable carry pick, but low anti-push. Anti-push is not something that Wraith King is particularly good at, and you might think that Queen of Pain has strong counter-push, but until she gets that Ag Scepter, her wave clear is really quite short range with the screen.
Yeah. So you do have a decent amount from the Earth Spirit and the Shadow Shaman. Ooh, Disruptor, I really like Disruptor. One of my favourite heroes to watch, just makes for... all the big flashy lights make for fun team fights, I think, so Disruptor, nice to see that. Great way to lock down the Queen of Pain. You can glimpse her back into a Static Storm, probably one of the... maybe the best support that there is, without having to buy a Blink Dagger or something like that to lock down any of these elusive, you know, Weavers, Ember Spirits, Storm Spirits, Queen of Pain, etc. Maybe not Storm, but the others. So yeah, I like the Disruptor pick against the Queen of Pain. Do you need some supports, a lot of which, or a couple of which that we would have liked are already out? Shadow Shaman, they probably would have wanted Venge as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last game you sort of had the feeling that Birmingham's draft was a lot easier to execute, but this game, I think the Nottingham draft is much easier to execute. It's a draft that gets ahead early and just stays ahead. You know, very strong power spikes on the Juggernaut, Beastmaster, and Death Prophet once they hit their level 6 Disruptor as well. So you do get the feeling that around 10 minutes they will be wanting to group up and take towers, and really, it doesn't feel like there's too much that Birmingham will currently be able to do about that. Wraith King really doesn't want to fight until he's got at least his level 11. The cooldown on that reincarnation level 1 is just so long.
Yeah, and if he's up against... depends how how Nottingham want to lane this. They didn't go for the aggressive trial lane like you wanted last game, so I don't know whether they'll go for one this time, but I think going aggressive trial lane against Wraith King is pretty nice because overall I don't really feel like he adds a great deal.
10 seconds.
I mean, obviously he adds the stun,
Yeah.
and he's got decent base HP, and he offers decent damage early on with that crit chance. But
10 seconds.
yeah, he's fairly immobile. He's a reasonably easy kill before he hits his level 6. So
Dire team pick.
Interesting.
well,
There's the offlaner.
yeah, I have mixed feelings about this pick because it doesn't offer so much wave clear.
There's quite
And
a
that was
bit
something I did think Birmingham needed, but it's strong against the Juggernaut because slice straight through his spin. If you manage to enchant, for example, a Satire, or rather a Satyr, a big Satyr creep, then you can spam out the Shockwave and get some rudimentary deep push.
Seconds remaining.
It's pretty good against the Beastmaster and the Juggernaut, although against the Death Prophet and the Disruptor I'm not so much of a fan.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
I feel like this isn't going to be one of the games where...
Ooh.
Ooh, the greed is real. My god, they are going to get punished in the laning phase for this. Enchantress...
Are they though?
I mean, I'd say one of the best laning counters to the Enchantress is probably the Juggernaut, just because he doesn't care about the Untouchable since he can spin. But they haven't really got the best combo with it. They've got no slow. They've just got the Disruptor with the Kinetic Field, so...
Yeah, I mean-
I would have liked to have seen another lane support from Nottingham, but Enigma, tell me what you think. You were about to say something.
I really like this Enigma pick, actually. I mean, obviously, as with any jungle pick, it can go horribly, horribly wrong. But I think Nottingham have correctly assessed this Birmingham draft, and they've seen that Wraith King, not really a hero that wants to fight before 15 minutes. Queen of Pain, not particularly effective until she gets her level 6. Shadow Shaman, and not a particularly mobile support early on. He likes to gank mid, but he doesn't really like to get up in the face of the Enigma so much. Invade his jungle. Earth Spirit's going to be the biggest obstacle, and wow, look at that early movement there from Never Don't Give Up.
Yeah, not
TPs
messing
to
about.
mid immediately and places the ward.
Yep, he's going to go and place another one as well, right up here.
I like this. I think this is a very smart play here from Nottingham. They're actually going to block off that Enchantress camp with the Sentry Ward, I think. Maybe. No. Yes. He's sticking around. I think he's thinking about it.
Yeah, I like that. I like the vision. I like the block, assuming that he does do it. I guess he's going to wait up here maybe with a stun to try and catch someone coming for the room, but he's just going to walk away from now. Keeping hold of the sentries.
I think if he had actually used a sentry to block that Enchantress camp, that would have been extremely good play. Enigma's definitely not a hero that you can afford not to level your Eidolons on level 1 though, if you're going jungle.
Okay, so it's not going to be the same as last game. Both the offlaners are not going to get the runes near their lane. It's just going to go to both the mid laners, I assume. Death Prophet and the Queen of Pain.
Look, he will actually block up this Enchantress camp.
Okay,
I think she scouted him doing it,
yeah,
but
she did spot him, but there's no money for sentries right now, and it's not the easiest place to get to either back here. So, Enigma just going to grab a creep from mid, grab some conversions from mid, I should say. Help out the Death Prophet a little bit, and the lanes are going to settle out, and it's going to be a defensive dual lane with a Juggernaut and Disruptor, as we expected. Shadow Shaman, Wraith King bot. Currently, once again, we see Earth Spirit, previously Kunkka, this time Earth Spirit, hanging around mid lane. Eventually worked out for him last game. Took a long time for him to do it.
I think this early game really will come down to how much can Dian get done on that Enchantress top.
Yeah.
Enchantress definitely has the capability to bully Juggernaut in lane, and she's already doing it there with claps. So much damage, but it can definitely swing the other way quite quickly with the damage from Juggernaut's spin. But otherwise the lane should be fairly even, and obviously if the lanes are even, they're in the favour of Nottingham, because that Enigma will be farming quite quickly in the jungle.
Beastmaster going to have the Radiant creeps push him right up to his tower, so we'll be able to secure probably 3 waves of XP here. Probably going to get level 3 from that, and probably be able to CS it all as well. Juggernaut, somehow, I think he's had to tank a lot of creeps. Got down to fairly low health up top. That's got a level in the spin, so probably going to want to go for the Enchantress. But look at that! Ooh! Ooh! The Chain Lightning, 140 damage from the Harpy. Juggernaut going to be in trouble. Needs some help. Now, turn the Chain Lightning towards the Disruptor. There's a clap on the Hellbear. It's not quite fast enough just yet to catch up. Might get there. Tomato. Whoa! Walks right into it. And time's out. Top lane. Oh, this is brutal. The Harpy Stormcrafter. My oh my.
This is very, very impressive micro here coming out from Dian. This is almost puppy-esque the way he's using these creeps to really make the Juggernaut very miserable indeed.
Look at that, Juggernaut nearly dead. And still, how many? Still loads more. Like 5 more Chain Lightnings available.
I think he's slightly misread this lane by buying the Wraith Band so early on. I think he could have done by bringing himself a salve as well. Obviously the Healing Ward is going to mend himself a little bit, but not quite as much as he'd like, you'd think.
And now the Disruptor having to use the Q just to try and take down the Harpy. He's going to time out anyway unless he wants to re-enchant it, which I guess he has done. Trying to get the Harpy. He's going to get 1 more lightning off. Oh, Enchantress pops the heal to save it. Look at that. MLG. Now Disruptor walks off. Mid lane going slightly in favour of the Queen of Pain here. It did start off in Death Prophet's favour, but I guess it was just the presence of the Earth Spirit. I think he did throw a boulder smash over the river early on. Beastmaster bot lane actually out farming the Wraith King for the moment, and oh my lord! Look at that! Disruptor popped by the Harpy, who when I looked up there had 6 health left. And Juggernaut trapped in the trees as well. They're getting absolutely ruined. They've got to be feeling, I don't know, salty in some way about this, that the creep that the Enchantress got was this ridiculous creep.
It's certainly a lucky spawn, but there's a reason Enchantress is so popular in the meta right now. It's her potential just to completely take over a weak safe lane. And I did say that this early game would be decided very much by how this top lane went, how much Enchantress could get done, and it looks like right now she's getting a lot done.
Invisible Earth Spirit appears onto the Death Prophet and shoves her down the hill. Now so much damage being done to the Queen of Pain though, thanks to the Spirit Siphon. Woo! Death Prophet pretty much fully regened. Clarity popped out onto the ES, and I mean, I was kind of anxious for Nottingham about how the lanes were going to work out with the Enigma, and lanes are working out pretty poorly so far. Beastmaster doing well, but not preventing the Wraith King from farming so much. Has slowed him down a little bit, but now he's going to try and go into the Shadow Shaman. I think he's going to be going down here. He's doing a lot of damage. Does manage to get into the trees, so doesn't want to die for that thanks to the...
I've been very impressed here by LRM in both these games. He's managed to get a lot out of his offlane. I think in the first game he was given quite a lot. Oh,
speaking of though,
Commentator's Curse.
Here, and now look at that. Absolutely wrecked. The chain stun, the Wraith King followed up by the shackles and the long range kick from the ES. Takes him down.
Oh, that's classic Commentator's Curse right there. I was just talking about how much
mid lane
LRM was getting out of his lanes.
I didn't see it get cast, but Black Hole is down. I don't know if he missed it onto the Queen of Pain there, or if he just didn't get enough damage off for the duration, but Queen of Pain survives a Black Hole somehow.
Looks like he landed it, but they didn't quite get enough damage, I think. Yeah, she had a full bottle, so... Oh no, Sonic Wave ready. I don't think she'll even need it. Yeah, I think she will have to cast it there actually, with the Soul Siphon.
Which is
forcing that, but it will get the kill.
Fine with the Arcane Rune on, to be honest, who cares? That's good. Using it for that mid lane kill would have been worth it without it anyway, I think. And oh, Enchantress now taking chunks out of the Disruptor. Will get around the corner, but 2/3 of his health just sliced away.
This is one of the things I would really like to see changed about Enchantress for the next patch. I think the mana cost on this impetus right now is way too low. See it get buffed, get nerfed down to about 75 per cast, or maybe even more. Be a nice way of changing her.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'd like. I do agree that Enchantress needs to be changed. I dare say that maybe Untouchable could be reworked into another skill entirely, because I don't think it's kind of entertaining and silly, but I don't think it's very good in the way that Untouchable works. I think Untouchable could kind of just be changed. But
I think Enchantress players would disagree with you there. That certainly it's very strong right now.
So Death Prophet lagging behind a little bit in the CS, but thanks to the kill and all the denies on the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain going to be very, very happy with this lane and just avoiding that Enigma gank. They know that they don't need to worry about the Enigma for at least another minute. He is lingering around with some conversions top, but these conversions obviously going to be slowed by the Untouchable, which is only level 1. We don't usually see, or I don't usually see this build of the level 4 Nature's Attendants and only the level 1 Untouchable, but working out for Enchantress so far. Steals the siege creep to do some more damage to the tower up here. And might be able to take out the Juggernaut here. Would need 2 more attacks with the Impetus. He's backed off for a little bit. It's just Enchantress trying to push under the tower for now. LRM rotating towards mid. Pops out the Hawk. Has a roar ready. Needs to make sure that the Death Prophet is in range for the Crypt Swarm, waiting for the Queen of Pain to walk forwards. But it's rune time, so this might not be the perfect time for it. Queen of Pain will be wanting to rotate, and Death Prophet getting a little bit more aggressive here, might have given it away. Courier is coming down, but an Invis gets picked up by the Queen of Pain, so she's not going to be going down anytime soon. Beastmaster just gives up on that, walks back across the river, and going to try and find something to do elsewhere. Shadow Shaman going to snag this bounty rune, and now Death Prophet is being scissored here. He's going to be in a very, very bad state. Is there an ult from the Queen of Pain? Yes, it didn't even need to come out. Didn't do any damage.
Completely unnecessary, unfortunately.
Wasted. The Ether Shock finishes it off, but regardless, Death Prophet goes down 4-0. Nottingham struggling. Jug does manage to get the deny on the top tower, but that does not make up for the fact that the Enchantress is somehow, I say somehow, is out-CSing the Juggernaut in the offlane here.
Well, I mean, Disruptor has many strengths, but zoning isn't really one of them, especially not against a hero like Enchantress. He's got fairly average base damage, and his Q really doesn't do that much damage at level 1, so there are much better zoning heroes, and with the Enigma pick, he was never really going to have the help he needed to really properly zone out that Enchantress, and Dian, with the creeps that he got, has been able to do a lot of work up in that top lane.
Enigma has the mech, so I guess this is where the push begins. There's no exorcism on the Death Prophet, and ooh, Enchantress is just running up. About to pick up a drum, so nicely farmed here.
Dian full of confidence right now.
This is where they want to come online, but do they have the levels? Do they have the money? They certainly don't have the levels because they don't have the exorcism yet.
Well, I mean,
Enchantress and Queen of Pain just stood here hitting the tower. Feels like inefficient use of time from Birmingham, but there are so many dire heroes here that it just doesn't really matter where their heroes are when so much time is being wasted on the Enigma.
I mean, Nottingham have their ults up, so this was the time that they were thinking about pushing. And Death Prophet, I am very interested in this build. 4-0-3, no ult.
Yeah,
no ult at all.
I mean, might pick it up at level 8 now that there's people have gathered up. I don't actually know who's acting as the captain of this team. The person that left the team most recently is the one who was previously acting as captain, so I don't know if we're maybe seeing a little bit of evidence of, you know, lack of leadership or communication or something. Oof, Earth Spirit. You're going to probably save the glimpse here until he tries to boulder away. He will use it, but it actually gets cancelled anyway, so they're not even going to need to commit the glimpse to that. They throw the Shadow Shaman wards to the top of the hill, but they'll take out the Eidolons, and then they'll probably get farmed up by the Death Prophet with the Disruptor here.
That's actually a complete disaster for Birmingham to commit the Shadow Shaman wards like that. It's not only a lot of gold to Nottingham, but severely hampers their ability to counter push early on.
Meanwhile, Juggernaut finding some farm top lane in exchange for the Wraith King bot.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Not really sure there's too much difference in whether you want a Juggernaut to be farming or a Wraith King to be farming. I think both teams are going to be happy that their respective carries finding a little bit more than they were earlier on. You said it earlier, but the offlaners both been playing an impressive game so far.
As long as Spud actually rotates and makes use of this early farm, I think it's absolutely fine that he's getting this free farm, but I think he does need to rotate soon, and it was something we didn't see him do fast enough on the Razor last game, because he can definitely fight earlier than the Wraith King.
Failed glimpse there, actually. I think just glimpsed the Enchantress to exactly where she was stood. So I don't know if maybe that's a little bit of discomfort on the hero for putting myself under the disruptor. Now Earth Spirit rolls a long way forwards, and Death Prophet just turns around with the Exorcism, but he's taking a hell of a lot of damage here. Gets some Spirit Siphon and doesn't do anything, and now Queen of Pain gets a good ult out onto 2. The Roar, there's no mana for it, and this is just going to be a massacre of Nottingham heroes. They've got to blink up in 5 seconds to try and chase after this slow Beastmaster. A nice kinetic field, but he's taking so much damage at the urn. The blink from Queen of Pain will take him out, and 3 for nothing. Nottingham, what a horrible mess. There was no chance for a Black Hole during all that. No chance for a Roar. Exorcism was popped, and the Death Prophet was already in the river getting nuked down, so that just was not. It just seems like Nottingham don't know what the rest of their own team is doing at this stage. They don't know when to go, they don't know who's going to back them up if they do. Having trouble.
I do have to question Spud's AFK stance here. I think Nottingham really could be using him in these early engagements, particularly with the strength of that early Omni Slash. I mean, really, this engagement mid is just something that shouldn't happen. Earth Spirit made a very bad roll in and should have been caught out by something. Juggernaut TPing in, a Primal Roar, but there was nothing there. Death Prophet panicked and used the Exorcism, and then was nuked down very quickly. I think that was just a bad fight from Nottingham, and they've lost both of their towers.
Feels like panic station for Nottingham. Like they're playing super conservatively. Like they're not using the Black Hole very liberally. They didn't use the Exorcism until it was about to go down. There was no Aurora in the whole of that fight. They're not using these abilities, and then they're losing the fights because they haven't got enough to provide. And now there's a blink onto the Wraith King. He's going to blink on top of the Enigma. He will not be able to commit a Black Hole to this. Death Prophet is doing a decent amount of damage. The Juggernaut does manage to slide through. Enigma is actually buying back here, TPing into the tower. He wants to find the Black Hole. Won't want to use it on the Wraith King because he's still got his ult. Will he be able to find anyone else? Might use it onto the Wraith King, and this will actually end up being a team wipe. Oh no! Oh, not like this! Oh sweet Jesus!
That's just
manage
stupid.
That?
I mean, that actually makes me angry to watch. You've got 2 AoE spells that you can very easily cast over the Wraith King as he's reincarnating, and you miss both of them. That's just insane. He's under your tower. What can you possibly lose by casting them early by a couple of milliseconds?
Oh, that was sad. That was
You've got to be very heavily on tilt, and they're going to be picked up.
Oh boy, Juggernaut. The mech comes out from Enigma, but he's being taken down very, very fast. Look at this damage, and now the pure damage from the Queen of Pain as well. Look at that. Death Prophet and Juggernaut are down in not very much time at all. Oh, I can't believe what just happened. Sweet.
I mean,
Jesus.
if you didn't have evidence that Nottingham were on tilt before, you certainly have it there. That, you know, there is no excuse for skill usage like that. That just shouldn't happen. I mean, 2 players refusing to use their skills until Wraith King is actually respawned.
Pretty sad.
They're giving away things that they just shouldn't be.
And that could have been, I mean, obviously it was still a good exchange for them, despite the fact that they wasted the 2 ults at the end. Nottingham did still play that quite nicely. They got a lot of kills thanks to the Omni Slash primarily, and got, I think, secured 1 and then quite a lot of damage to the other at the beginning of that fight.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it was a 4-man wipe underneath their own tower, but I mean, better players than me have said it, and I'll say it here. Dota's a game of momentum, and like, not only is skill misuse like that absolutely going to tilt you very hard and shift momentum back to your opponents, but look at what's happened in the aftermath of that little exchange. They've lost you know, they've lost their cooldowns, they've lost their tier 1 bot, they lost heroes when they tried to push the enemy's tier 1 bot, and they've lost Roshan.
Yep.
None of those things happen if they kill the Wraith King.
Yep, absolutely true. And now bot lane, they are just... Oh, sorry, my mouse settings are wrong as well because I've lost my settings. Bot lane tower not even going to be contested. We do manage to take the top tier 1. So the second tier 1 of the game goes down, and Radiant do actually misuse the fortify there, but in the meantime the tier 3 is being threatened at a pretty similar time to what it was last game, and it's still 30 seconds until there's going to be a black hole. There is the midnight pulse drop down, so that will force them away momentarily. I don't know how long this is going to last for. The courier is bringing in another Orchid, so again, Queen of Pain. Luke on the Invoker last game had the Orchid and the Aegis very, very early, and here it is again, not being the kind of absolute ruffle stomp that he had last game, but still played pretty smoothly. Now they're just going to back out, they're not going to commit to the push too early, which I think is fairly sensible with the black hole cooling down fairly soon, but Nottingham, they want to try and turn this around. They've popped the smoke, they're moving out through the map.
You do have to question though now with the Orchid on the Queen of Pain whether Enigma's actually ever going to get the chance to land a decent black hole. If she positions herself well and conserves that Orchid, I think it'll be very difficult for him.
I mean, I said that the CK was daring last game and the Enigma was daring this game from Nottingham. Playing Enigma into a Queen of Pain, who is likely going to build an Orchid, a Shadow Shaman and a Wraith King, who are both likely to build Blink. Shadow Shaman is actually going for the Necro, so the cheese push coming out from him, but just the
I think the Enigma pick in principle is... Yeah, I think the Enigma pick in principle is fine, because the mechanism heals up a lot of the damage from the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain has low anti-push, and it's really the sort of the 10 to 15 minute period where you really see whether an Enigma pick has worked out for a team or not, because that's when he gets his mechanism, he comes out of the jungle, starts pushing, starts team fighting, uses that maybe the first or the second of the black holes. But it's just so evident that it's not worked out in any way close to what Nottingham were hoping for this game.
I mean, really though, how do you play Enigma? How do you get a black hole against an Earth Spirit that doesn't use his Q, that just waits for the black hole? You can't do it, right? There's just no way.
Well, I mean, the simple answer is that
than he is now and has a BKB.
The simple answer is that you don't. You threaten the black hole. That's how you play it. Anyway,
he's got Blade Mail here. He's doing a little bit of damage back to the Disruptor. He's going to lose his first life, and now the Queen of Pain will burst down the Juggernaut, who does have another buyback. He doesn't want to commit it yet, though. Death Prophet is taking down the Enchantress, but the Death Prophet and the Enigma very, very low and will get taken down. Queen of Pain triple kill, and he's going to find one more. Look at this DD. The Orchid hasn't even been used. Ultra kill the Quap. Double damage going to ensure that these rats are going to be going down very, very fast. Only the Enchantress lost, despite all the lanes, the other lanes pushing towards the Birmingham towers. Oh, sorry for this camera work. Nottingham just cannot find fights.
I mean, I think this game was definitely lost in the execution. Nottingham had a draft that could have worked, but they've been completely out-executed here by Birmingham. I think, yeah, I think they're going to lose another lane of racks here, and may just end up calling GG. I think they might, maybe not. Okay, I think they're still in this game. They have the pushing power. They have, you know, in theory at least, they have the team fight, but they're just not able to make it work right now.
I mean, again, I feel like I'm kind of beating a dead horse here by repeating things a lot, but last game I said that Nottingham, even though they're behind, aren't executing that differently, aren't playing massively differently. Like, I don't know.
I would actually disagree with you there. The Nottingham this game and the Nottingham last game, it's night and day really. The execution's been very poor from them this game, but they're definitely, I mean, if they somehow manage to turn it around and start executing the way they can with this lineup, they're definitely still in the game. It's just whether they can start executing to that high level.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like their combo is really hard. Obviously there is quite a bit left down to the Enigma, but there is the potential of the Disruptor finding some good fights as well. It's just no one seems to be able to make the plays. Someone needs to make a big play for Nottingham, and nobody has stepped up to do it so far.
I think that Nottingham's biggest problem right now is that their lineup works a lot better from ahead than from behind.
Yeah.
What they rely on with the Enigma into a lineup like this is pushing towers with the mechanism, with the Eidolons, and then relying on the enemy initiating into you to get you that big black hole set up. It's more the threat of the black hole and then the use of it to punish rather than to initiate that makes the Enigma so strong in this game. But it just hasn't worked out that way.
Earth Spirit is just clowning on the Dire heroes right now, throwing spells out all over the place, just doesn't care. Throws out sounds here, throws out a stun there. Enigma, no Blink Dagger, gone straight into the Guardian Greaves, so can't find any way to punish at all. Disruptor couldn't get the Thunder Strike off, so he didn't have vision for the Glimpse to try and bring him back. It's just nobody making plays. Nottingham need to find something, and they aren't doing it. Smoke has been popped by Birmingham, but they aren't actually doing anything with it right now. They can see the Juggernaut here, who has enough money to get a Battle Fury now, but this isn't exactly the item that's going to turn the game around quickly. He's going to have to use that to find some farm in the jungle or somewhere, to find an item that will actually turn this around. But as of yet,
I mean, the Guardian Grooves is a very understandable pick here from the Enigma. It gets off the dagger, the Orchid, the Earth Spirit Silence. I mean, it gets off a lot of things that Enigma really needs to get off himself in order to land that good black hole. But you just feel he needs the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he does.
Really, really does in this game. Just to get into that position to land a big black hole that's going to turn this game around.
Someone's got to be a playmaker. The Disruptor isn't getting enough money to find like an Axe or a Blink of his own. Beastmaster has gone straight into the Necro, so he doesn't really have the opportunity to find a good pick-off in the way that he wants. One of these heroes needed a Blink, one of these heroes needed a way to get in and do some stuff, but nobody has it. And now Wraith King has an armor on top of what he has before, and the wards are dropped, and where is the contest? Oh, a mistaken Blink from the Wraith King there, but again, no way to punish. Disruptor could use a Glimpse, but Wraith King does still have his ultimate available. And the melee racks are just going down, and Nottingham are waiting for someone to step out of place, but no one's doing it.
I mean, this lack of blinks would have been fine if they were ahead and they were pushing, but
and look,
now they're behind it.
Caught in a
It does look quite
no
bad.
Static Storm, no Roar, no Omni Slash. What are you waiting for here? Silence goes out onto the Wraith King. Another one in return onto Disruptor, and melee is gone. That's it. Successful push from Birmingham, and Nottingham just stand there and watch.
It's very, very painful to lose in this fashion, but
Yeah.
you have to say Nottingham actually played that almost as well as they possibly could have done. I mean, if they commit one of those cooldowns onto something like a solo Enchantress, there's absolutely no way that they win that fight with heroes like the Queen of Pain and the Earth Spirit and the Wraith King just able to get in afterwards and do whatever they like.
I mean, in that case, you lose the fight or you lose the fight, right? It's what happens now when Birmingham push uphill again?
Same thing again, really. I can't imagine it being any different. The game is not being lost here. It was lost. If it is in fact lost, it was lost about 10 to 15 minutes ago, really. All that we're watching now are the death throws.
Yeah, Nottingham chilling out in base, trying to push out the top lane, and now this is obviously going to get harder with the super melee creeps coming in from bot. Mid tower is already very low. Birmingham want to find Roshan, but it's almost as late a spawn as it can be. Only 30 seconds or something off max spawn, so it's going to be another 20-30 seconds from now, and they can't be bothered waiting. They probably don't need to. They're going to go towards mid. Is there anything coming out on the Korean? No, there isn't, so they haven't managed to find a great deal of farm in the meantime on the Wraith King, but the Queen of Pain is just unspeakably rich. Has the BKB and can pick up the AC in 500 gold's time.
It's not really like they're in any rush, really. I mean,
And
they
look,
have
Earth Spirit
3.
again just doesn't care. Sat outside the base. Sorry, go on.
I mean, they have 4 of the top 5 net worth heroes.
Yeah.
Only the Juggernaut even coming close, and unfortunately for Nottingham, you can see the Enigma has really fallen behind quite severely compared to where he wants to be. He's second bottom of net worth in terms of Nottingham's heroes, which is not where they wanted their Enigma to be.
Yeah, I mean,
at this stage of the game.
In a good Enigma game, it wouldn't be uncommon to see the Enigma at the top or top 2 in net worth at this stage. I don't think a smoke has come out from Nottingham, but it's really, really obvious because their tier 4s are being hit by creeps, and Birmingham just going to back off to their side of the river and wait for Nottingham to show themselves once again, which they will right now, and then Birmingham going to turn around, I imagine, immediately and go back into the rush.
I mean, it's unfortunate for Nottingham because the Roche Pit is definitely their best hope of getting back into this game. They've got a lot of AoE control, a lot of AoE spells, but with the racks that they've lost already, they'll never be able to get a clean engagement without telegraphing the fact that they're coming in.
And now they can see up onto the high ground. They know that Nottingham are coming. The Midnight Pulse not really hitting anything. They should know that the Earth Spirit is up on this hill. They can see him, but it's just going to roll straight down. Can they see him for a glimpse? No, they cannot. Another time. Cook myself not being able to either get in range or for some other reason use the Thunderstrike to get the range there. And I just feel like using anything at all, using a static storm just to take out someone, they need to find something because they are just so far behind. Any kill at all is going to give them
I honestly think the best thing they can possibly do right now is just send Juggernaut into the Roche Pit, have him try and sneak it, and if Birmingham try and contest, then go in with the spells that they've got. They're actually going to make this play.
They're going to go ham.
Yeah. I mean, they have to do this. You know, it's now or never. They have to go all in because it's either losing here or losing slowly.
Steal here, but he's actually not going to try it yet. He walks through the Midnight Pulse, so he can't get the steal out. And now Death Prophet, not the best Aegis carrier. And now the Shadow Shaman Woods, very nice, just outside the Roche Pit. And look, the Static Storm just hits onto nothing, and Disruptor walks underneath the Shadow Shaman Woods. They've got one kill out onto the Wraith King. He's going to be coming back. He's trying to do some reverse damage with the Blade Mail, but they do manage to take him out. So Death Prophet gets the killing spree there, and now LRM gets the roller over onto the Earth Spirit. Have they got enough damage here to take him down? Not quite enough just yet, and now Beastmaster will be going down in the end when Queen of Pain has finished with the Enigma over on the other side. Comes to
and again, I mean, just sloppy execution there from Nottingham. I mean, Death Prophet takes the Aegis, and I really don't know what that was about because Juggernaut so much better of a carrier. They don't use Black Hole.
Does still have the Aegis. Double buyback from the Enigma and the Beastmaster, but the range racks have already gone. I don't know when that was. I think that might have been during that fight. Well, it was just at the end now. Yep. Death Prophet maybe seeing the Wraith King move in, just picked it up in panic. I don't know. Like you said, would have been a better pick on the Juggernaut. A lot of the ults were used during that. There was no Black Hole again. I can't help but feel that they've just been so conservative with these spells. I mean, you've said that, you know, it's the threat of the spells. It's, you know, if they use the spells, they will lose the fight really clearly after that. But if they never use these spells, they are just not going to win any fights. And with no proper Black Holes, with a whiffed Static Storm in that last fight and another whiffed one earlier in the bot.
Well, the point I was making with the if you use the spell, you lose the fight is more that Birmingham are already so far ahead that is now the case. But it's just that they're so far behind.
Yeah.
You know, if they were a little bit behind, they could still contest, but they're just so far behind.
And now the wards up on the high ground, the Necro buff as well. Juggernaut to get healed up by the Greaves. And now Impetus going up the hill. Juggernaut almost gets taken down. Will Wraith King be able to find a little bit more damage? Not just yet. The Exorcism caught. The Static Storm this time is pretty good. Now, Juggernaut manages to take out the Wraith King, who doesn't have the mana, and now the glimpse back onto the Enchantress. Look at this. They've used some spells. It's going pretty well so far. Will the Exorcism be enough? They will. Oh, the Crypt Swarm was so close there. Will they be able to catch anyone else? They want to change targets here. They want to try and find maybe the Shadow Shaman, and they get the Yules onto him, so he's not going to be able to blink away. And they should be able to finish this off. A really nice stun from the Earth Spirit there. I can't imagine the Shadow Shaman is getting away. Tell me he isn't. He's going to have the blink in a second, and he will actually get away. Now they change and go onto the Earth Spirit, who doesn't have a roll. He gets the Ghost Scepter out onto himself, but now he gets Silence. Does get the Magnetize up, but they end up getting 2. They defend the mid-racks. They do take some damage. And the tier 4 will be going down here as well. The Wraith King, was his reincarnation not off cooldown, or did he get his mana drained? I don't know.
I think it was still on cooldown.
Okay.
I can't imagine that he got his mana burned that badly. But I think it was just still on cooldown. He slightly underestimated how quickly this Nottingham team could burst him down. He got caught, just tagged with the edge of the Static Storm, and then Juggernaut was able to Omni slash him down. Birmingham slightly overconfident, really, but you do get the feeling that if they are able to post up onto that Nottingham high ground again, just use the Shadow Shaman wards. It's such a low risk way of pushing that those racks will not be long for life.
I think, Enigma does have the money for a blink now. Doesn't have buyback for 3 minutes anyway, so he could pick that up without, in theory, being punished. So if they can find a black hole here in the next fight and take out maybe the Queen of Pain +1 with that, I think that's another defense out from them. The Omni Slash will be available by the time the fight happens, so they do have the potential to do a decent amount of damage.
He's got to pick up his blink dagger. He's got to do it right now.
I don't know what he's saving this money for. He really, like you said, needs to go and do that. He will get it. Map drawn on. Map status.
I don't think Nottingham can afford to take this fight out inside of their own base. If they get those Shadow Shaman wards up into the high ground.
Exactly. Yeah. The AC now up on the Queen of Pain, going for a Scardy next to carry Quaff. Coming into town. Kinetic Field does keep them away for a little while, but now Juggernaut wants to try and focus down the wards, but he's taking quite a lot of damage from him. He's trying to do a little bit more here, but the Necrobuck is already out. He's focusing down the ranged racks with the Necrobucks, and now, oh boy, the Black Hole didn't work out as intended, and Exorcism is doing quite a lot of damage here, but more damage coming the other way. Death Prophet does manage to take out the Shadow Shaman and 1 life of the Wraith King, but the GG is called. Oh, the Beastmaster gets the Queen of Pain at the end for 1,700 gold, but too little too late. Joff on the Death Prophet has already used the buyback. And that is game 2. It's a 2-0 victory for Birmingham. 2 mighty convincing games. Nottingham, not the team that I'm used to seeing.
I think this is just a bad day at the office for them. Almost nothing really went right for them. Even with a decent draft in game 2, they really just couldn't make it happen. They didn't group up early enough. Their spell usage was slightly suspect, and they just got steamrolled. Very impressive performance from Luke in both those games.
Yeah.
And Deanne really just took over that enemy safe lane and really made it his. So impressive performances all round. Birmingham march on.
That is a spot in the LAN finals in London. The start of next month, I think, for them.
Wow! Already, congratulations to them.
Yep.
Be great to see them there.
That's one of the 4 finalists confirmed. I'm not sure if we've got a schedule for any more games. I think if I type in something like !bracket, yeah, so that should say when who and what the next games are. That's us for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Obviously follow the channel here at twitch.tv/GameBritannia. You can follow me over at twitch.tv/MaxIsOnFire, or you can follow Jay at twitch.tv/Logyck. That's with a YCK at the end, is that right?
Exactly, you got it right.
And okay, yeah, thanks for joining me, Jay, and good night everyone. Enjoy your weekends. I'm sure there'll be some more Dota.
doesn't even need to use it, he's just going to go in there. First spirit down, there's the time.
Oh!
Beautiful! Beautiful
Sick play,
dodge!
Sick play on a winner there.
What games do you currently play? League of Legends?
Okay, no, he lost. Screw that guy.